All right, Marvel Snap had potentially the biggest over-the-air adjustment it has ever had. I think that these changes are awesome. I'm really excited to chat about them. I think that I'm blown away by this wave of OTAs. I think that this just shows that a lot of people were asking for bounce nerfs, and we'll read about their bounce nerfs and stuff, but they made so many risky over-the-top buffs that are crazy. And we'll get into them, but like, dude, like having a system like OTAs gives you the space to be able to do that, and it's so cool. I'm really excited. We really value keeping things fresh and interesting. View Marvel Snap as a puzzle to be solved every couple weeks. Also modify the format of these notes slightly to be more directly emphasize the changes we're making. Let's dive right in. Bounce nerfs. Let's begin by addressing the Beast Falcon in the room. I don't think Falcon's the scariest part of Bounce, but that's fair. There's no secret that Bounce has been one of the top decks in the metagame for the last few weeks. We actually feel Bounce is undisputed best deck. I definitely agree with that. Because its matchup spread has been a startlingly high number, 60% of matchups, and many of its cards' top win percentage charts when not drawn, indicating the deck is winning with a variety of card combinations. So that just means no matter what cards you're drawing in that bounce deck, it all kind of like conducively works together, and it works really well. That's awesome. Yeah, say hi to YouTube. Hi YouTube, hi YouTube. This is my VOD channel, by the way. Hit subscribe. The skill edge the deck offers probably the largest in the game. Also means that edge can increase for the most practiced bounce players. So we're going to hit the deck firmly. Furthermore, the strongest shell in the deck is relatively transferable. You don't need to be playing the Beast Falcon game to be having a strong deck. That means we're going to target cards that get shared across the versions of the archetype. Very smart. Kitty Pride, old 1-0. When it returns, you gain +2 power. Returns at the start of each turn. Change 1-0 to +2 on return to 1-2 +1 on return. So Kitty gets a higher floor, lower ceiling. Kitty's the best performing card in all bounce decks. She's an ideal candidate to target. Strengths have even warped how the deck approaches the matchup, pushing combinations like Invisible Woman, Killmonger. Yeah, that's crazy that a card is so strong and powerful that it's pushing people to add 2 cards into their deck, Invisible Woman and Killmonger. You just will lower her ceiling substantially. You see Kitty pretty commonly making it to 8 power in the scenario. Now she'd only have 6. Definitely a nerf. The change does raise her floor, adding power or saving energy when drawn on turn 5 or 6. Yeah, so they do this a lot. They don't just punch a card in the face. They move levers, and they make some parts of it better, some parts of it worse. I really like that about what they do. I think Kitty will still be very strong. Hitmonkey, 2-0 to 3-2. You're spending an extra energy, but you're getting +2 power to start. Next strongest card to bounce has been the Hitmonkey. I'm targeting a nerf onto him as well. We're adding energy to Hitmonkey for a few reasons. First is just to weaken him. So the less crazy burst you can get on the final turn, the better. So instead of getting to play an additional 1 cost card or 1 energy card on this final turn, you now can't do that, but you still get the +2 on the Hitmonkey. So you're kind of losing out on getting that 1 cost card wherever it ends up landing. Which is really, they even mentioned exactly that. You'd often spend the energy to play a 1 cost card in the last turn, which would itself have 2 power more in addition to the buff it gave Hitmonkey, so we're just taking that away. Very cool. It also makes him much less efficient to play early in the game, mostly eliminating that early Hitmonkey you beast back for more value later on. We chose this execution rather than something weirder like -2 power or buffing +1 power, but just adding some base power because it's more elegant. We like elegant stuff. Yeah, worst hit with Bast. Both of these are worst hits with Bast, yeah. That's actually a really good point. I didn't think about that, but all 3 of these bounce hits, Kitty Pride, Hitmonkey, Spider-Ham, all 3 of them make Bast worse, which is very important. Very important to make Bast worse. That's a really good point, Victorian. I love that. Spider-Ham, 1-1 to a 2-2. I think this is great. I mean, I think that the information that you get from Spider-Ham just made it too good. I was one of the people who I thought Spider-Ham didn't show you the card because I didn't pay attention to the video and I'm a stupid man. So I thought that Spider-Ham was overrated as hell. But I was incorrect because it shows you the card. It's crazy. Burn has been a generically strong card in a few decks, so it might surprise you to see it's lumped in with Bounce here. However, the deck where it's most play has also been the third strongest card in that deck. The number of reasonable replacements, so this is our smallest change of Bounce, but we have other motivations for changing the card. We're not happy with the extent of the damage Spider-Ham has done to a few archetypes revolving around cool high-cost cards like She-Hulk Death and APOC. Yeah, dude, playing discard sucks when Spider-Ham is everywhere. We gotta deal with that recently. We'll have future adjustments on the road to Spider-Ham's behavior that directly addresses that, but for now we're just gonna make him a little less efficient. We'll have future adjustments down the road to Spider-Ham's behavior that directly changes that. Twisted Access, thanks so much for coming to Binks fan. Give me some Binks Nux in chat. Thank you, thank you. Interesting. I wonder if they're gonna change it to like a random card. That's weird. That's ominous. It's an ominous thing. All right, now that Bounce on out of the way, let's move into exciting territory. Buffs. These buffs are crazy. These buffs are crazy. These buffs are awesome. Take a second to appreciate how crazy all these buffs are that I'm about to say. Most games don't do this shit. And this is something, like, I feel like they've been pretty tame on their buffs. And this is the first time they've just been like, what? I don't care, dude. Whatever, dude. These cards might be broken. I don't know. Love it. The last one was like the Enchantress buff, where it's like 4/6. I don't know. Who cares? I'm really excited. Phoenix Force! 5/6 to a 4/5. And Phoenix Force is going to be so much stronger. 4/5. It works with Zabu. You can play it a turn earlier. It's crazy, dude. You can move it twice. 4/5 Phoenix Force. Think about this, chat. Ghost Rider is a 4/3. Ghost Rider is a 4/3. This Ghost Rider's a card, combines them together, and lets you move it. This is so much stronger. Like, obviously Ghost Rider's discarding, this is destroy. They're slightly different. This is crazy. Crazy change. Especially the Zabu interactions that are possible. Like, dude, this is gonna be so cool. Like, the way that you're thinking about Phoenix Force is completely different. It used to be like this big combo finisher. I don't know what the hell people are gonna figure out with this, but this card's crazy now. And it's still the season. You can still buy this card with the season pass. Like, this is so cool. Relatively unusual for make a change to the season pass card, but Phoenix decks have been a lot weaker than we wanted overall. Maybe due to the complexity of deck building. Another reason is we made a relatively late buff to Phoenix, moving it from a 5/5 to a 5/6. Unfortunately, that ultimately introduced more weakness than strength to multiple man, making it vulnerable to Shang-Chi. I don't think that's the case. I think it's still a buff. Just because you can Shang-Chi the multiple man, you're usually putting them everywhere. I think that's kind of fine. But it is kind of cool that now if you Shang-Chi, or now if you Phoenix Force a multiple man, you just get 8 power cards everywhere, which is pretty cool. This change should heat Phoenix up for players in a big way. Want to return multiple mana that sweet spot 8 power. Little too much gas, looking cooler down, but keep her 4. Dude, I love that. I love that. Even just saying that. Like, if this goes crazy and this card is like way too strong, that's fine. We'll figure it out. Phoenix Force is gonna go crazy, dude. Ghost Spider 2/3 to a 1/2. Half the cost. Half the cost for Ghost Spider, man. Half the cost for Ghost Spider. Half the cost, bro. It's just crazy. Like, oh, it's so cool. Like, if you guys remember, some of you do, probably not many of you. Back at beta, Scarlet Witch was a 1/2. It was a 1/2 utility card that changed the location. It got changed to a 2/3 and it went from being played in almost every deck to not being played all that much. Ghost Spider is now one of the strongest 1-drops in the game. Like, Iron Fist, you have to do some setup, I feel like. Iron Fist is harder to set up. You can only go in one direction. You have to play it first. You can't play it reactively. Yeah, Ghost Spider could just be in any deck now. That's so cool, dude. Ghost Spider is such a fun little sneaky movie card. 1-2, man. This is just so cool. I love the Ghost Spider change. Yeah, dude, Ghost Spider can go in the Ghost Spider's so much better in the turn 7 Galactus deck now. You can find some cool things. Like Sentry on now that Magic's a 3/2 now, also makes the turn 7 Galactus deck better. I'm excited. I think Ghost Spider should see a lot more testing as a tech card. And it's good that there's another good one drop. I mean, I think that Spider Ham getting out of there now it's kind of just Iceman and Nebula that are in that premium spot. So maybe Ghost Spider starts to sneak in. Obviously, Kitty's always been there. I'm really excited. I think that this is a pretty crazy change. This is one that people aren't talking about that much either. I think that 2-3 to 1-2 is a big change from a utility perspective. Yeah, Hogsea's gonna be really good now. I mean, there's already been some really good like Hogsea decks. Like Paper has a really crazy one. Living Tribunal 6/6 to a 6/9 +3 power. Now, people look at this +3 power and like, oh, it's only one more power to a location. If you're doing the full combo, where you're doing the Iron Man Onslaught Tribunal, which is much easier now that you don't have to ramp into Magic because Magic's a 3/2. Much easier now to get that combo off. You actually get 4 extra power in every location. It goes from like 28 to 32. 32 is really hard to get over. 32 is really tough to get over, man. Love the Tribunal change. I think that everyone has been saying we want it to be a 6/9. Nice. So on and so forth. I think that's a crazy change. I don't think it's gonna be broken, but it'll be a lot better, a lot stronger. +3 power is pretty significant. I think the Magic change helps the Living Tribunal deck more than anything. IMO. You could get like Sarah down and then like sneak some additional cards in. Really cool. And then Magic. The Magic change is crazy. 5/3 to a 3/2. 2 less energy, chat. 2 less energy. 2 less energy. Have they ever buffed a card by 2 energy? Can anyone think of an example? I don't think they've ever buffed a card by 2 energy. I don't think Ham is stronger now. Ham, I don't think Ham and Magic make any sense. I don't think there's any connection there. Can anyone think of any card that's ever been buffed by 2 energy? I don't think it's ever happened. I think this is the biggest buff they've ever made to a single card. Shadow King went 4 to 3. Yeah, that's 1 energy. Red Skull got nuked by 2 energy. You're thinking power. Plus Old Magic is coming back kind of, so you can play it on turn 6. There's like ways that you can play the Magic and stuff that people have talked about. The problem with Magic is that Dream Dimension bricked it. To do a lot of cool combos, you have to like ramp it out. This is the biggest change since Thor was only 1. I mean, Thor went down 2 power. I mean, the Shadow King change is pretty big, right? Because it was just a pure energy buff, which is rare. But yeah, I think this is the biggest buff they've ever made in the game. A huge nerf to Cerebro 3. If you're playing Cerebro 3, you're crying right now, man. Dexter in shambles. Dexter's in absolute shambles. Magic was such an important Cerebro 3 card in my opinion. I ran Magic in every single Cerebro 3 deck that I made. I think that I think she was so good in Cerebro 3. People have said you can run her in Cerebro 2 now. I personally don't think Cerebro 2 is good with Magic. I think Cerebro 2 has too small of a power cap. Cerebro 2 kind of gets power capped at, like, if you hit the perfect line, like 2 of your lanes will be 28. If you get them fully filled, you get Cerebro, Mystique, and Blue Marvel. It's like sometimes not even that big. Yeah, you don't have any trouble filling the board in C2. That's the thing. That's why I don't think Magic is good. You're just giving your opponent to catch up. Yo, Brittany. Shout out to Brittany. How you been? You got to the 100 for the first time with the J negative deck? Yo, Pog. Yeah, that thing just took a little bit of a hit with Kitty leaving. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you've still been playing. That's really cool. I think when I rated you hadn't been playing for too long, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Magic went down to a 3-2. Huge, crazy change. I'm really excited to see what the hell happens with this, because I think Magic's going to be everywhere. People are going to overplay the hell out of Magic in decks that don't need Magic. So there will be a learning phase of people knowing which decks Magic's actually good in. And I think, like, you can run, like, you can run Magic in, like, Surfer lists, and then just, like, be planning on just, like, storming your own Magic at the end of the game. I think there could be a lot of fun stuff. And like I said, I'm going to make a crazy Magic Greed Surfer combo deck with Mystique and Wong. That'll be nutso. And then finally, like I said, every single time they do one of these OTAs recently, I feel like they're just adding a little nugget of, like, you know, that location you don't like? Fuck that location. We're getting rid of it, which I think is sick. So they're bringing down Great Web, which is something that I've said literally since the moment the Great Web does. Great Web's not that annoying. It's like not a horrid location. It's not a great location. It's a disruptive location. Kind of interesting to play around. But the fact that it would show up so often, it's just like, what the hell is going on here, dude? Why is this a common location, dude? Now it's no longer a common location. It's probably in the uncommon bucket. Probably went from the common bucket to the uncommon bucket. So we think location is pretty interesting. We have a variety of location rarities. Web was one of the most common. We're changing it to be one of the more rare locations. Using the second tier. So it was an uncommon. It was already uncommon? That's crazy. It felt like it was coming up more than uncommon. So now it's on, like, the realm of, like, Bar with no name. So it shows up, like, the same time as Bar with no name. Super cool. Super exciting. Like I said, I think that these OTAs are... It said it was common. It said it was one of the most common. No. So it says it was one of the most... let me see. Being a little higher than expected. Great Web was one of our most common. So it means either common or uncommon. And it was uncommon because there's four tiers. There's common, uncommon, rare, super rare. It's saying to the second tier under ego. That means it's going to rare, which means it was uncommon. I don't think it went from common to rare. If it went from common to the rare, that's fine. But it says one of our most common, not the most common. I'm pretty sure it went from uncommon to rare. Maybe you're right though. Maybe it did. Maybe it did go from common to rare. I mean, I would be even more happy than that. Super cool. Awesome. Craziest change I've ever made. Very excited for it. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, this is my VOD channel. Hit the subscribe button. It's on there. This isn't the regular Binks channel. It's the VOD channel. They're the extra channel, which is something else that you could call it. Or, yeah, just hit the sub button. Also hit like. Goodbye now, and make sure to subscribe. Goodbye. Yeah, fun patch overall, dude. Fun patch overall. Very excited for it. Snap fan lists Great Web as common. So it did go from common to uncommon. Interesting. Is there like a trigger that Snap.fan pulls, or is it just based on data that it collects? I don't know. Let's theory cross some decks with this stuff.